I've been watching the GDQ, Games Done Quick, a lot. Which I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah,
I'm sure Maverick.
Yeah, you used to. I think you used to.
Yeah, the speedrunning thing.
Yeah.
They just did their winter games, GDQ. After this stupid fucking ad, I need to just put my account on here so I don't have ads. Alrighty, this is Talks with Coors Banquet. Look at that.
Yum.
Look
Yum,
at that.
dude,
That's a
foam.
perfect
Dude, that's how you're
pour.
supposed to pour it.
I gotta
Yeah.
get the carbonation.
Yeah,
out.
that's your thing. You like it. You like it that way. Yeah.
So today we have Ian Nelson, and we're excited. Also Andy Crateau.
I'm here.
And Ian used to be in our band, and he's done a lot of stuff with the Ongoing Concept. So I wanted to have him here, and we can just chat about the good old days of playing bass on the road
Yeah.
with a post-apocalyptic band after all my brothers quit and TJ quit.
yeah.
You
Chaos.
could probably take the mic closer, like move it
Okay.
just to your mouth, just a little bit.
Yeah, just tell me what to do.
Just be
Sort of
kind of
thing.
close. No, you don't need to do that.
Okay. Just fucking.
Well, you sit so high, so you could probably just pull it up like this.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be fine.
All right.
There.
Get it in front
There
of
you go.
your
And you could
face.
actually maybe just a little bit down.
Right, just right there.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, cool.
It's just that I want to make sure that they can see your face.
All right.
And that you're in the shot. But yeah, Ian has got a long history with us. He started helping us with music videos back in 2013,
Yeah,
12.
I think 13.
Cover Girl was the first video that I think you did with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I might be able to find some old behind the scenes of you and Josh helping us out with
Filming.
that video. Yeah,
Yeah.
filming. And then the OG video that involves Andy and Ian was the saloon video. Ian did a lot of video work helping me out with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for you, I don't think that video would have turned out the way it did. So so from there, Ian's always been a great friend of mine. And then yeah, I mean, maybe tell everyone about yourself and what you do and the band that you're in now and things,
Okay.
or the bands plural that you're in or whatever you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to break this awkward aura of being on a podcast and not just having a conversation. Yeah, thank you. Thank Christ.
You're gonna just have a microphone in your mouth the whole time.
Yeah, so I'm Ian. I have been involved with Ongoing Concept, I'd say, since early on with, like Dawson said, helping with videos. I played bass during the Places era. We did a handful of tours while I was in the band.
2 years worth.
Yeah, 2 years. And that first year, I felt like we were touring pretty often. Yeah, and then heavily involved in writing the third album. Yeah, and now I play in a heavy psych rock band called Kadabra, which Dawson has recorded both of our albums that we have released. And that band, we tour too often. It's starting to get a little exhausting, but I love it. And then I'm just started this kind of hardcore punk project called Poise. We just released our album. Dawson also recorded that. Yeah, that's kind of what I have going on in my life.
Yeah,
Some
ironically,
thrashy shit, dude.
ironically,
Thanks,
I'm
man.
wearing.
It's intense.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited to put it out.
Yeah, no, that's a fun time. I'm wearing a Kadabra shirt right now, which I just randomly put it on today. Coincidentally, I just picked out a shirt and it was Kadabra, so
Yeah.
it was good timing.
Yeah, we made the connection that it's the album cover from Kadabra's first album, and it is a photo I took at Kyle's wedding, actually, which was probably like 20...
You were at Kyle's
I was
wedding.
at Kyle's
I thought
wedding,
you just
yeah.
went to the church. Oh, so yeah, that's right, because you were at that wedding. Why were you even at that wedding?
I think I was somebody's date. I think
Kyle just thought you were close enough with
Yeah,
us
or
that
he
he
just invited me. Maybe I
think so.
didn't have a date. I was married to Samantha at the time. She probably would have
Well, and that was
murdered
just-
me.
Well, because it was just like, I remember it was you and Zoe just hanging out.
Yeah.
So,
I think you kind of invited me so Zoe wouldn't have been like by herself.
Oh.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Is that that church like there in Rathdrum, kind of by Main
It
Street?
literally,
Yeah, that super old
it
one.
literally
Yeah.
was
Okay.
where,
Cool.
what's his name?
Dylan used to
Dylan,
live there?
like,
Yeah.
he
yeah.
came out at that wedding, I think, and said hi.
Oh, really?
He was like, yo, I noticed you. I'm like, yeah, my brother's getting married. And he's like, all right, we'll see you
That's
later.
so funny.
Yeah, crazy. Well, so beyond just Ian and the band, Ian and Andy have a history too. So maybe
Yeah.
Andy talk
Yeah.
about maybe some of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ian and I used to play in a band called The Last Cowboy, and we were one of Dawson's first projects to record. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
When
Actually,
you-
us and Stowe,
Yeah, yeah.
which we were both in.
There's a lot of history there. Yeah, it was like my first bands I ever recorded were the bands that they were in at the time. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I learned a lot from working with them. And you guys trusted me. Also, I don't even think I charged you anything for the
Nah, I
first
don't
couple
think
songs,
so.
just because
Yeah.
I was like, my shit is shit, so don't pay me. And it was a good learning experience for me.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember singing and screaming into your closet lined with like pillows.
Yeah, I remember that.
With that blue microphone. I still have that thing, that old shitty MXL, whatever it was called. Yeah, and I remember, oh man, I just remember, I think one time Shannon came over with cookies in my bedroom. Like, that was the problem. I was doing it in my bedroom, and it just was such a weird setup. But then you have a studio in your bedroom.
I think, yeah, a lot of people do. But, you know,
Dude, I'll never forget that van that we used to ride to in shows back then.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
your van, and we
Yep.
would pack it full, and we'd have to have one person sit in the back on the drum throne,
Yep.
like in between all the gear.
Yeah. Remember when Dan got punched in the face at that one show?
I
I was thinking about that the other day.
Dude, me too. And just how we did nothing about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
Oh man,
Poor guy.
He's gonna watch this and get
Yeah.
so mad at you guys.
Good memories, right, Dan? Yeah, that was a fun project. And I mean, I know like later on Cody recorded the drums for that project, but I think those recordings still sound great. Like I listened to them the other day.
Yeah, they're really not that bad.
Yeah, no, Kyle, my brother Kyle, really he loves that whole EP. He loves it. He just, something about it, I don't know what it is, but he just finds it really cool.
I think it's out there on Bandcamp somewhere.
Yeah. I threw it on there. Yeah, look up The Last Cowboy on Bandcamp. It's somewhere. I like how I keep like sitting in like I need to talk into them.
I mean, you don't have to talk too close. It's just like trying to get the levels right on this stupid recorder. It's all a learning curve.
Dude,
But-
I was at a show the other day, and I was like just kind of talking to people who had recognized me. It's really surprising how many people think that we were in the band like since the Saloon video.
Oh, that is crazy.
Like,
So like they totally
Yeah.
disregarded Handmade.
Yeah.
That's
They
like,
think we were a part of that too, for some
I
reason.
mean, in some
That's
ways,
funny.
Ian did help film the Unwanted video. So
Yeah.
you were a part of
yeah,
that.
there's a little bit involved in that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know because most of it, was filmed by y'all inside the mirror room, but like, yeah, I was there like the whole time for that, I think.
Yeah, that was a rough couple days. So hot.
Yeah.
So hot in there from the sun reflecting off the mirrors.
Yeah.
Dude, we all got sunburned so bad. Yeah, that was
crazy.
That was crazy. And then you also did the Melody video,
Yeah, that's right.
and you
Oh,
were in that video
dang.
too. You're beating the shit out of me.
That was
You and
the-
Cody were beating the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That was like the first full thing we did, I guess, when we all joined the band.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep. And
I
then
like that video. I think that video looks good.
I honestly, I know that people are gonna hate this, but I think that Melody and that music video is top tier ongoing concept, but no one's gonna agree with me.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs.
I think it was
and
shot pretty
it's
well, too.
And the video is really well
Yeah.
done. Yeah, it's just like, I always wish that song would go into like some sort of soundtrack or like be in the background of like some TV show. It just has like a cool vibe to it that I feel like could be cinematic for
Yeah.
like a show.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would ever happen, but
Oh, dude, last year we went and played at the Canal Club in Richmond, Virginia. Remember where
Oh,
that
yeah.
girl named Melody came to
no.
the show, and like cornered Dawson at the van after we were loading out. It's like, you guys didn't play Melody. You have to sing it for me. And she like started singing it, and you were just awkwardly just like, Melody.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
You sang it though.
Yeah.
Good job.
Do you not remember that?
Good job. Well, cause the Canal Club's the one that's under all the freeway. Yeah. Okay.
You might have been off doing something.
It was like a core tour memory for me just because it was so hilarious.
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
Because we weren't the only ones parked back there, right? The other van was parked next to us when it happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't hit Cookout when I was over there this time. I was like preaching Cookout to my bandmates.
And they didn't.
And I made them pull up the menu, and our merch guy was like freaking out at how many shakes there were because there's like 32 shakes. And then we didn't even go to a Cookout. I was very upset.
We did. It wasn't as cool as I remembered last time.
Yeah. Well, back then we were like in our 20s and we could just eat like shit and like feel fine.
Yeah, it was okay, but it was like something about it when you're in your 20s hit
I think it's
harder.
just cool how many different items you can get there. It's just like they have everything.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Different variations. Of things.
I'm trying to think what was a restaurant that we went to on this past tour that was like top tier? Because Parker was trying to take us all these places, and we did do some of them. Went to like a pizza place once.
Yeah, I don't remember. My favorite one that Parker has picked out so far was Culver's in the Midwest.
Oh, Culver's. And I picked that out, and that was right before we went to Josh Schrader's house, because that's right down the road from... And that was when I went to mix our album with him. That was the first place he took me after the airport. So that was the exact one, so it felt cool. It was like, oh, I'm back here.
And you can just show the rest of the guys.
Yeah, it's really good. Culver's is awesome. So... I'm trying to think of something. Oh, I do have something.
Oh no.
No, I don't have. It's not thing bad.
Okay.
Oh, you got a hat.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions here from the hat. This is the saloon hat. I have a couple questions for you. So we'll start with Ian. Just pick one out.
Okay. Why are you the way that you are?
That is really not the question. I have the real questions in my pocket.
Do you want Andy to read the other one? Oh shit! Oh, sorry. That's why.
Let me get a rag.
Dude, I think I'm like losing my voice. All right, let's see what the next one is. Oh, it's the same thing. Let's see. I'm the way that I am.
Dawson thinks he's funny.
Yeah.
See, the thing about TOC is we're not really like, it's not very official.
No, that's good. That's my favorite podcast I listen to. I mean, there's like obviously a structure kind of, but
yeah, and we're trying to get the formula out because like before I had my whole studio here, and now the studio's upstairs, so that's like a different environment. We're just trying to like get stuff vibing. I forgot that this guy's playing saxophone to Elden Ring.
What? What's that guy wearing?
Nothing.
Undies.
Dang.
Sorry, Emily.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
So I'll put these questions in because these actually are separate ones, and then we'll start with you again. And
Okay.
well,
Oh, the best show with TOC. I still think my favorite show was that first South by Southwest was chaotic as fuck.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was like three shows
in a day.
Yeah.
I kind of want to show if we have that picture of you when you fell out of the van.
All passed out.
Yeah.
Austin. I'll find it.
I'll put it right here.
Blown up. Yeah.
Dude, that was we were not sober during that entire time.
Yeah, but we played our shows, so we were like we could do whatever we wanted, you know.
Yeah, we did what we
were
wanted.
home free.
And then we met that random band that played before us that was at that bar. That was
the one that the trumpet player is in Foxy Shazam.
Yeah.
And we went and hung out in the
all of them
tour
were
bus.
Like weren't they all in Foxy Shazam? Like,
No, one of them was in the past, and then the trumpet player was
just like the current one.
still in Foxy Shazam. Yeah.
Okay.
That was sweet. Yeah, they invited us back to their van to smoke weed or something.
Yeah, and they had they called it their bar, but it was just a box full of liquor. Like, come to our bar.
That's kind of how O Sleeper was,
Yeah.
but it was more of backpacks being
Definitely.
not ratting you guys out. But
That was wild because we had an hour and a half before we had to be to the next venue to do like the headlining show of the night
In the monster stage.
Yeah.
And that first one, we found out the day before because Cody and I were walking down the street and our name was on this flyer. And
we
you
didn't
remember? Because I was like, are we playing another show? And then you like texted Donovan and Donovan's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you.
oh my god,
And that's how we found out.
Okay, that was dude. That was Texas is a crazy place. When you go to Texas
Texas
it's
is
totally
crazy.
different concept. There's so much going on during that time.
Speaking of Texas, South by So What in Dallas, that first show, because like as us, the new lineup, it was the biggest show we had played at that time.
And that's the one that Jonathan Kemp took those pictures, and then one's like on a shirt. That was the one. Right?
Yeah.
That was.
Of You Live.
I would say
Yeah.
that by far with you guys was probably.
Yeah, I think we performed really well too.
Yeah.
I mean, Cody's got that GoPro video of it that I
I've
still
always-
have, and it's like,
If you should send that to me.
Yeah.
I've always been trying to find and show Emily.
yeah,
That
you could probably throw a clip of it. I don't know if you
We-
cut the stuff on this
Yeah,
podcast.
no,
or not, but
I might. Yeah,
I'll find
That
it.
definitely made us feel like big timers, man, because that was like we were playing with all of our favorite bands.
Yep.
It was like Under Oath's reunion
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
And
It was.
And Samson.
Yeah, and Josh Goggin was standing like side stage
While we're
watching
playing,
us.
and we're just like, oh fuck.
Like what are we doing?
Yeah, like these idols of
Yeah,
ours when we're teenagers. We're
and like
oh, no.
Silent Planet sound checking next to us
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
stage, like literally because they split
'Cause
the
they
stages
split
in
it.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And I'm
fun.
just like, please don't. My bass. I'm like, please don't come unplugged. Please don't come
Yeah.
unplugged. Like,
yeah,
but, like everything went really well on that set, and I remember Corey afterwards, like, was like really stoked and said really nice things. And
I remember running into Caleb Shomo in the green room. He was talking to Josh Goggin, and I went up to him because the short story is that Beartooth played before they were big. I knew they were going to be the fucking biggest band in the world, but they were literally had just started, and they played the Hop, which is a small little venue,
Yeah.
and they played with the Ghost Inside, like I think, and Kubla Khan maybe, I don't remember, but I invited them to my house, so they stayed at my house. Caleb Shomo left his laptop
I remember that.
at my house, and I had to call them and be like, yo, I know you guys are like halfway into Montana, but Caleb left his laptop here. And so anyways, he remembers me, so I like come up to him like, yo, thank God I gave back your laptop or something like that, because I was like, I want to see what plugins this guy uses for his sessions. And I was like, but I'm not going to touch that. And he was like, yeah, you guys are like a mix between James Brown and Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. I'm like, oh, that's
James
I mean, at the time, you're probably like, cool.
I was like, that's actually,
That works.
I like that. I like that, actually. I think it's because we started with that song Feel, which
Yeah.
kind of has like that groovy thing, but then you mix it with like kind of Southern
Yeah.
rock.
Oh yeah, because it has the beginnings all groovy and then
the
like,
horns, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a really
I
good
think
show.
yeah, the bass like boom, 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 boom.
I love that song.
Yeah,
I love that song.
It's all
Yeah.
funky.
I remember the second year we played.
Because we played on the other side.
Yeah, but the Every Time I Die played.
Oh, that was epic.
And there was a thunderstorm
Yeah.
going on in the distance, and it was like the most epic thing I
ever-
remember ever seeing.
Yeah.
Like Every Time I Die, playing an awesome set.
Side stage.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and this epic lightning
Just
and
in the
thunder
background,
happening.
the
Oh,
crowd's
it was
going
so
insane.
cool.
I remember Jordan Buckley like crowd surfing and like lightning shooting in the background. The wind was like crazy,
Yeah.
blowing everything around. That
Well,
was
and then later
nuts.
in the band lounge, because Every Time I Die is like my favorite band ever, and I was standing behind Keith Buckley to get a drink at the bar, and I was just like kept almost like tapping him on the shoulder type of thing, and I look over and you and Cody are just busting up laughing at me.
yeah. I remember because we were all like, should we talk to him? Because every time I die, top 10 bands for sure. And we're just like, let's do it.
I ended up talking to them.
And Dawson was like, I ain't scared. I'm gonna talk to
Well, because
him.
I don't give a shit about every time I die. Like, I'm not really a fan. I don't really know their music that well. So to me, they're just a normal person. But I get it. But also, I had a reason to have a conversation because we toured with Gatherers, which is good friends with them.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was like my segue, just be like, yo, whatever his name is from Gatherers, like, you guys know that? Yeah. That's how you kind of break those conversations without feeling like a dumbass. But
all we had was like, you're my favorite band.
yeah. Well, that was the thing too with like Spencer Chamberlain. Like when we did that Norma Jean tour, when he was in Sleepwave, it was like, I don't know a single Under Oath song. Like I've listened to some of them for mixing purposes, but I've never been an Under Oath fan. So when he was on the tour, the rest of my band was like, oh my God, Spencer. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, Spencer, apparently you're in a big band, used to be, and want to go watch Star Wars in the bus? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just because I don't care about that. I just want to build connection with someone. So that's totally. And you and I watched a lot of Star Wars with those guys.
I remember being super drunk on that bus and watching Phantom Menace, and we're all just like, you know what? This movie's actually pretty good. Like everyone was in agreement.
And it was before it was right before The Force Awakens came out. Yeah. Like I think The Force Awakens came out like a month after that tour.
Yeah, it was like the trailer was
so out. We were all getting like hyped for it, and we were just like watching all of them from 1 through 6 like each day on that tour. Yeah. And just being like, you know what? Yeah, Phantom Menace, not too bad. You know what? What's the second one?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah. I think we even got to a point where like, you know what? Attack of the Clones, not too bad.
I think the thing that happened the next morning was we woke up in the van hungover, and I think the first thing I said was like, oh God, I said the Phantom Menace was a good movie last night. Like, it's like you're like hungover regret.
Yeah.
And I remember Kyle, because I had never drank with Kyle before that time, and I remember that same night we were in the parking lot, and Kyle just like grabbed this bag full of groceries and was like, yeah, and he just like chucked it across the parking lot, and I'm just like, what is going on?
Was that in the Walmart parking lot where like people are just throwing shit?
Yeah,
I was so
we
pissed.
Cleaned it up the next day.
Okay, that's good to know, because I came out of the back of the van being like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Well, yeah, because Phil from Norma Jean, at the time he was in Norma Jean, Phil was like getting them all riled up. I remember it was like your brother and Kyle, and he was like getting drunk with them, and because they had their like Norma Jean had their own little like seats, like booth, I don't know, seat situation by their trailer, and I think that's where Kyle and Parker were hanging out. Anyways, these are all stupid memories.
Yeah, and half of them are kind of foggy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but the good times. Andy, there's another question in that hat. I just didn't know what to think of. It was like 10 minutes before you guys showed up.
Most sketchy show or venue?
Oh, because we got a lot.
Yeah. That's a hard one, man.
That is a hard one. Oh, I have a good one.
Well, I'm gonna have to say on the last tour we did, not with Ian, but in Allentown, Pennsylvania, in the little tiny back room of this dive bar in downtown Allentown, that we played with Lightworker and Bloodlines when we met up.
That was rough.
We had to park like way far away in the sketchiest neighborhood. Nobody spoke English. But yeah, we were like scared to leave our van. But the venue was just like, there's people dealing drugs right outside. And it was just...
And it was the back of like a house.
Yeah, the shittiest little venue.
You went through like a garage into...
Well, I don't remember what it was called, man, but...
Yeah, and then you go from the garage, and there's a little in-between grass patch, and then you go into the back door of the venue. And it was pouring rain, and they had one of those like little... what are they called? Just like those little vanities that you put...
Yeah, like, pop-up tent.
Pop-up tent. That was the only thing that separated you from the garage, and it was downpouring, and so you're trying to bring your gear in and not get it wet, and you kind of have like this little like, I don't know, 15-foot gap between that thing, and then you have another 15-foot gap to the door. And I remember OERSA had their Sovtech amp just out in the middle of the rain. They forgot about it.
Oh no.
And I'm like, yo, Joe, I brought your Sovtech in. Unfortunately, it's been out in the rain for like 10 minutes. And he's like, it worked. It worked though.
That's good.
They were like freaking out.
I like took it apart and let everything dry out, and we played the next night in Rochester, I think. And
it
totally
worked.
I mean, that's a good ad for Sovtech amps. Jesus Christ.
True. Yeah.
Russian. It's so funny too with the Sovtechs. I want to get one, but they were talking about how like Sovtechs are so interesting because everyone's different, because every single one, you don't know if the guy was half a bottle down on vodka or a full bottle down on vodka when he put them together. So they all have their little unique designs, and there's only like so many of them, and they're kind of hard to come by these days. So it's kind of funny, but they sounded great.
Well, yeah, because we used that Sovtech we borrowed from Noah to reamp for places. I remember that one time.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you think Noah would let me borrow one of those to reamp for something we do?
I mean, he probably would, maybe. I don't know. I could ask him.
Yeah, I mean, when we do our new music, I want to use a Sovtech. I've been thinking about buying one, but they're like $1,500-$1,600 on eBay.
Yeah,
and I don't know how good a condition they are.
Totally.
So having someone that like has probably a pretty pristine one. Yeah.
He definitely has kept up on the maintenance and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to that time, I'll hit you up.
Do you remember that that bowling? There was like a bowling alley somewhere in California. There was no PA, and I think the guy had to bring like a small practice, like 150 watt shit PA, and that's like all he had. It was like a one-off on a tour we were doing. I think it was the tour we had with those Sleeper, but we had like a one-off.
Oh yeah.
And like,
was that like in Stockton or something?
That would check out Stockton. Yeah, because it was like in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Because the bear, Wolf and Bear, was that the name of that band?
Oh yeah.
That dude and Wolf and Bear came out to it.
And what's his name from Kingdom of Giants? Came out, but they were like the only people there.
Yeah. It was like embarrassing. I was like, fuck.
I'm trying to think, because Wolf and Bear, did they play it?
No, they just came out to it.
Oh, because we did play that one show with Wolf and Bear.
Dude, that one at their like
the house one?
That they had shows at. That was awesome.
That was awesome. That was the last show of that tour, because it was the one we did with A Lot Like Birds, and did Hail the Sun? Hail the Sun did that tour too.
Yeah,
and it was like the last date, because we stayed with. Why can't I think of his name? He was doing merch for A Lot Like Birds.
Oh,
Roman.
Yeah, Roman. Yeah. In Medford.
Yeah, he was talking about how his dog was continue fed, like with the feed thing.
Yes.
That's why it was blind, was because and this is when I learned do not do that, is that when you continuously feed your dog basically Lay's potato chips of dog food for 12 years, they go blind. Don't do it.
And dude, it was
Surprise.
crazy. We did that little run with the home team last year, and their merch guy, I think he's the vocalist for Enterprise Earth. Mm-hmm. He was at that show in the garage, and he remembered us from it. And
I thought. That
I remember
awesome.
that. Yeah. Oh man, such a small world. Like there's really just only 30 people in the music industry. But yeah, I'm trying to think of that show though you're talking about in Stockton.
It was a very forgettable show. So
yeah.
I don't blame you if you
Well,
didn't
do you remember the show that we did where we were in that like the green room was like a rail train car, and I had to
Fresno.
Something, and I had to take a quick piss or something, and you guys started without me, and I barely made it to the beginning.
Yeah, I do remember that. And was it me who threw the banana? Or somebody chucked a banana, and Micah opened the door as soon as we threw the banana, and it hit him in the face. I don't know if you remember that.
That was the drunkest tour we did with those Sleeper.
Oh, Sleeper is not a good band. Yeah. I mean, as far as
Sleeper is not a good band.
I want to say, I think they're all kind of back. Like they've all grown up, but man, they were ragers, and it's almost like they just brought a vibe of like you had to keep up with them, and before you know it, you went 2 weeks without remembering a single thing.
Yeah,
It was a full-on brownout.
Dude, I remember Shane, I think it was a few shows into the tour. We hadn't really like made friends yet. And he came out to the trailer and we had like a handle of whiskey or something.
Kansas City, I remember.
Yeah,
this.
and then he grabs it and he's like, let's pass this around until it's gone.
yeah. And we're just like,
and he was like, sorry, I haven't really checked out your guys' set yet, but I just don't give a shit.
he said that exact thing. I remember that.
Yeah, and I've always adopted that too, because then I just took
Which is
that.
awesome.
I took it to the next level, and I just told them that I hadn't heard their set either, which I didn't, because I don't care either. I mean, I watched them once, and then I was like, this band sucks. So
That was a long tour.
Yeah, it was a long
Thinking
one.
back on it. Yeah, it was over a month.
No, I just became really jaded to keep up with his jadedness in a fun way, and he liked it. I love that.
A very funny guy.
Yeah, super fun. It's like when you keep up, when you kind of adopt and like you see someone's personality and you just go, oh, I'll take that and I'll raise you one. They almost are like, I like that, you know.
Yeah,
Some people are just like that. He's a good guy. I like Shane. I like all those guys.
It might be a Texas thing. Like how much shit can you take before you break?
Oh, it probably is. Definitely. Yeah.
Well, and Zach is in Dayseeker now, which is really cool.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Full time. Yeah, I think he's like an actual official member now.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
But he's still. Well, actually, I don't know who's playing for O Sleeper anymore. It doesn't matter. But feels like those guys. Oh, and Shane's in a country band too now, which is cool.
Texas.
Totally fits him.
Yeah.
Totally fits him.
Totally.
Texas. Yeah. But as far as the worst show for me or the sketchiest place, I want to say it was the Foo Bar, St. Louis.
Oh,
And remember when we went to that liquor store, that gas station, and like those kids?
That gas station was crazy.
And then we saw a video of like them getting like
On YouTube or something.
yeah, it was like a famous video, like getting robbed or something crazy.
Yeah.
you know when the venue tells you not to leave your van alone, that it's in a sketchy
Yeah,
spot.
that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like out by the van the whole time.
Yeah.
Cool bar though. Cool
Yeah, it was a
venue.
cool place. I just
show.
and I've played there like between the legacy of Ongoing Concept. I think we played like 4 or 5 times. We did one with Kingdom of Giants. I think we did another one with Silent Planet. I don't really remember, but we've played that place a lot. We never got stolen shit.
Must be like this. Well, because at that time, it was like a bunch of bands were getting their stuff stolen in St. Louis.
Yeah,
And
Kingdom of
so-
Giants had got all their stuff stolen, not at the Foo Bar, but at the Steak and Shake down the road or something like that. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Do you
Feel so
remember
bad.
when we were in El Paso and we were like, oh, we need to get some food. We're so hungry. And we're like, oh, let's stop at this Whataburger. And we pull in the parking lot, and there's just like 3 sketchy, methy looking dudes just hanging outside. And we just start laughing, and we're like, psych! Go somewhere else.
I don't remember that one.
That probably happened more than
I did-
once. So
yeah, fair. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of like another sketchy place, or just a shitty show. We had a really shitty show in Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I was at
God.
a pizza place. They didn't really have a good PA either. It was just
Yeah, there wasn't enough inputs for anything. Like we couldn't.
Yeah.
So and they didn't have mic
oh
stands.
yeah. We had to use the camera.
use these
stick.
tripods.
We had to use
Oh,
the
you
tripods.
mentioned that.
Duct taped our
that's-
microphones to the camera tripods because they didn't have stands.
I have video that my cousin Sean took. I'll maybe post it right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it was. And then TJ got on top of a table and knocked the table over and all the glass from the table. And I was just like, we're not getting paid tonight. Like, we just destroyed everything.
Luckily, that promoter was super cool though.
He was, yeah. That was a great time. Like, that promoter really liked us. And I can't be mad. It's
Well,
just like,
it sucks because I remember that. I remember there being some people, because it was in the middle of Arkansas, in Fayetteville, I think, but people drove like hours away to come see us, and it was in this pizza shop with the shittiest PA. And I think, yeah, it was.
Do you remember
it's
the
kind of
brand-
a little embarrassing.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It's just, yeah. It's those in between shows
where they like make, where people come out of their way to like come see you, and it's like, that's the situation.
Yeah.
and you can't really explain it to them because they don't really know the insides and of how it works, and they're just expecting a good show,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't understand that we're in a pickle right now because we don't have a PA ourselves, and this is the venue. And you remember the speaker company Custom with a K?
Yeah.
That was what it was.
It was like a practice.
It was a practice, had like 5 channels, and it was
Yeah.
just the monitors, I think.
Dang.
And that was all we had for everything.
Wow. That probably sounded awesome.
It was rough. It was
Damn,
rough.
and you guys had to like.
We were played on the floor because only the drums fit on the stage.
That's crazy.
Dude, it brought us back to our roots. It's like
That's good.
it takes something like that to kind of recalibrate your ego a little bit and go, we're still at this level. We're still kind of at this level, unfortunately. But
That's funny.
Yeah,
You
but
remember that? I think it was in Flint, Michigan. It was like that. It was a strip club at one point,
oh yeah,
and then it was like a head shop or something, and it had that weird stage where
you're almost like on a bar.
it's
like
a square, and then there's a bar around the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the most amazing, iconic moment happened, was when Cody had been making fun of that guy from Hotel Books because that guy didn't screw his cymbals on.
Oh yes.
And so he's like, dude, one of these days his
Justin.
cymbal's just going to come right off. And literally during their set, boom. And it just, the
just
whole
like-
cymbal just came up and
Like
just
basically
fell on the ground.
flaps off, dude. Dude, I still talk to Justin. It's just
Oh, is
he's
that
in
it?
Portland now.
No
Yeah.
way.
Oh, was that the guy, the drummer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. I just remember Cody just like rolling his eyes every night, being like, dude, this guy, he needs to screw his things on for the cymbals. They're going to fly off. And then it finally did. And it's just like, it was the most cinematic. You had to be there to see it. And it was so amazing. Yeah.
And that's happened a couple times on that tour too, I think. Yeah.
Remember the I Prevail guys came out to that show. At least the Screamer guy did.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I don't know if it was. I think they might have been scouting to see if they wanted us to tour with them. That's what Corey told me.
Huh.
But I don't think that was the case. I think they just came out for something else. But yeah, that was at the time where I was like, we're gonna make it if I Prevail takes us out. I was like hoping. I was like picking at straws because I just knew that our band was just financially not gonna make it.
It's like that. sometimes,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. And then there was a few shows that we did that were really shit. It'd be funny for Cody to give his input sometime, but remember that one show we did with was it Idola? No, was it Capstan or Idola? I think it was Capstan, and it was when we played with just that guy from forgot the band name, but he's a crazy guitar player. Follow Troy.
Oh, at the
yeah, yeah.
Loving Touch.
Yeah, and it was like
Yeah,
his
that
it was
thing
like
was
his
cool.
like one of his
Yeah.
side project bands,
Yeah.
and like everything went out, like our entire
I do remember that.
The
it was-
interface
yeah.
like blew up
That
or
was
something.
very frustrating. That
Cody
in
was so
Detroit.
mad. So mad. I felt so
Well,
bad.
we only had like 2 songs that we could play without backing tracks.
Yeah.
So we played like a 4-song set, and I think we headlined that night. So it was just like we played
Yeah.
2 songs, the interface went out, and then we could play 2 more songs, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and we just like
Yes.
we
I do remember that.
we came to find out that it was just the fact that the USB cable had like shorted out.
Yeah, it
'Cause
was
we
like
got
a
a new one.
simple fix.
Yeah. Don't use Focusrite interfaces for tour. Just don't do it. It's not worth your time. They suck. But yeah. Trying to think of anything else. So you're going on tour here soon, Ian.
Yes. Yes.
And where are you guys going to?
Just West Coast on this run. I mean, it's mainly West Coast. We're going with this band called Dope Throne from Canada. I think they're from Montreal.
Okay.
I might be incorrect on that, but yeah. Apparently, they're a larger band in that kind of genre.
Do they have to get visas for this?
Parles-tu français?
Oui. This one, they're actually, I don't know if I should be saying this. Actually,
I can cut
just
it.
in case
I can cut it.
the higher ups are listening. No, what they're doing is they are borrowing gear.
Oh,
So they're using mostly our gear. I'm like renting an Orange amp for them, which is really sick. Like, dude, like Orange like lets me borrow amps for free. It's
do you
very
have an
sick.
endorsement now?
Yeah,
What?
I got. an
Oh, you
Orange-
told me
Yeah,
that.
when I went over to Europe, they.
That's cool.
Yeah, which
That's
I
really
was
cool.
like thought it was gonna be like not. I thought I'd have to pay for it, and then I like checked in and they sent me a receipt for $35, and I was like, is this a daily? And they're like, oh no, that's just to cover maintenance, like the rental's free. I'm like, what the fuck, that's sick.
That's really cool.
Yeah, maybe cut all this out, but
I mean, I can put in my exclusive, but honestly, I don't think any of this is illegal.
Yeah, I
because
don't think so either.
Borrowing gear in another country, that's the same thing as like printing merch in another country to sell it in that country.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like not. No,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we can keep this in.
yeah, totally.
I mean, it's
But
not,
yeah,
we get like
they're-
100 views on our videos anyway. So.
Yeah, someone's gonna be like, illegal.
I mean, that's what I would do. Because I've wanted to do some shows up in Canada, like in Edmonton and Calgary and stuff, but like a Weekend Warrior.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know if it'd be a pain in the ass to bring all our shit in.
I mean, we've done it. One time they were like, on their way, it's just coming back into the States is the hardest part. Because Canada's like, welcome, come on in. And then when you come back to the States, they think you're like buying stuff for cheap in Canada and then coming and selling it for more
Oh,
money.
that's right.
That's
what
what
we
they're
did
worried
when
about.
we did the Norma Jean tour was because we went to Canada, I think we like had to try and find all of our receipts for all of our stuff that we were bringing in so that we could show them we
That's
bought all of
yours.
this in the United States. Yeah.
And if you don't have your receipts, you have to like fill out this form called I'm drawing a blank on it. Anyways, you have to fill in this form, get it notarized, and then they send you a booklet with all the information printed out. So it's basically like getting another receipt, and then you have to show that book at the border crossing. But the other band we were touring with were like, I'm not fucking doing that. No. So we were like, okay, we won't do it either. And like this, they just never gave us a hard time. They're just like, oh, have a great day.
Huh.
Or they're usually like,
Interesting.
what kind of music you play? And then
Yeah.
we're like, Black Sabbath mixed with Pink Floyd. And they're like, I love classic rock. Come on in.
Yeah, I remember when we were on that Sleep Wave back in that Norma Jean tour. We went into Toronto and they had this crew of, they were doing like a border patrol thing, like a TV show. And they actually, so Sleepwave got stuck at the border for like an extra 2 hours because they were like, we're doing a TV show. So they had like the border patrol person like going into like the fucking toilet and like overreacting to like, oh, this is like the most disgusting thing. This is what border patrol people have to do. And like,
reality TV.
Yeah, it was a reality TV show that was there fucking filming.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we could probably
Canada. Yeah, I'm going
Canada.
on tour with a band from Canada
And I want to have Kadabra.
in 2 weeks.
I want to have you and Garrett and Chase potentially on at some point.
I think that'd be fun.
I would love to have you guys on, talk about maybe the recording process, you know,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Kadabra's awesome. I'll make sure to plug them here at some point in the video or in the description. But, yeah, this has been a good time.
Yeah, with
I really miss the hangs. We don't get to all get together very often. So
Dude, I was looking through old videos and pictures on my phone, and it was of us when we were first started rehearsing as a band when everyone else left, and we were going out to Spokane
To use that
to that place.
stage.
But we
Yeah.
all had long hair, the three of us.
can you find it and send it to me?
That is
Well,
crazy.
you had just like started growing your hair out, but yeah.
Man, I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah.
It felt
Now
very official.
we're all balding.
yeah. I just gave up and just shaved my head.
I just got a haircut. Dude, you know what's funny? I didn't almost, but I kind of passively did. I got a haircut like a week ago, and I went to work that day to the office, and my coworkers didn't recognize me. They actually thought I was someone off the street because I brought Reggie with me, and so they're like, "Hey, who are you, and like what is your dog doing?" And I'm like, what? And they're like, oh my gosh, it's you? I'm like, yeah, it's me. Like, what are you fucking talking
They
about?
just didn't recognize
No,
you
they
'cause your
literally
hair.
did not. And all three women that were in the office at the time, they literally did not recognize. I also had my contacts in, so I usually wear glasses.
Oh.
So it was like a combination of my short hair and then my no
glasses
glasses.
on.
And they were like, the way, because I saw them and I was like, hey, Laura. And she's like, hey, and like walked away. And then I was like, hey, Annie. She's like, and then I was like, okay. So then I went to my office and was like just tinkering around doing some stuff. Reggie was with me, but then Reggie kind of got away and he was like smelling around the office and stuff. And I'm just like sitting there waiting for him to come back to me. And like, you know, my coworker Laura comes up and she's like, so who are you? Like, there's like a dog running around. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, Laura, I'm just getting Reggie. And she's like, what? Oh, holy shit. Like, it was like the weirdest thing, dude.
Dude,
But-
not having the glasses can
Yeah.
really change the way you look.
Yeah. I don't wear contacts outside very often because I have a lot of. I was told at my optometrist that I went to on Monday that I have like 50-year-old eyes.
Oh no.
Like my ducts, like what lubricates your eyes are like what a 50-year-old would have. So I have like to do this regimen now where I like in the shower like rub my eyelids to kind of start getting the glands to like lubricate better because I have incredibly dry eyes.
Stimulate them.
Yeah.
Dude, my pug has to get one of his eyes taken out because his stopped working.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I mean, he might look cool.
So I want to get him a cool eye patch or
yeah,
something.
for sure.
Oh man,
For
I didn't know that. I mean, I would assume that for humans, like you can just do eye drops to lubricate.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
for a dog, you can't.
Well, you can, but you have to be pretty diligent about it, or you just pop the eye out and don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, totally.
And he
But
gets
yeah-
an eye patch.
Yeah.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
Ian, any last things? Tell us your dates. Tell us the times. Shows.
Okay, yes. Kadabra, if you're into heavy psychedelic rock, we're going to be on the West Coast. The tour is January 31st through February 15th. We're going to be going to Seattle, Portland, Eugene, Sacramento, Fresno, San Diego, Long Beach, LA, Denver, Las Vegas, which I'm excited for, Grand Junction, and Salt Lake City.
Hell yeah.
I think those are
Man,
all
you got
the
to
dates.
memorize already. Dude.
Yeah. I think that's not in order, but you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining. This is Talk Talks, and if you want to see an exclusive Patreon segment that we did, join us on Patreon.
You want to see it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's about
It's
ghosts.
the best part.
It's
Yeah.
about
It's about
ghosts.
Ghosts.
And
Yeah.
our friend Cody's relationship.
Yeah. Not that. That's not it. Well, we can. I don't. We can keep.
You should keep it.
I would keep it in now. Yeah. It's about that, and also diving into our favorite songs off of our album Places, that was done by these guys and us and me and
And Cody.
And
Cody, who no one knows. It's not here, but thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.